So for brows, I always start with my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I love this pencil because it is got a very, very fine tip and it's very long lasting, and I found a color that I think looks pretty close to what it would be if I had natural lashes. I don't. They basically fall off from here. It's genetic. I don't overpluck. I barely pluck. I just don't have lush eyebrows. So when I'm doing this line, I'm angling, and if I were looking straight ahead, I'm basically changing the angle right at the edge of the color of my iris. And then I am lining up the tail between the edge of my corner of my eye and my nostril, which tells me where I want the end of my brow to actually be. I tend to go conservative at first and then build it up as I go. I like kind of an ombre look, so my, 2/3 back end of my lash, the tail of my, not my lash, my brow, is always much darker than the front. Now I am most definitely a makeup enthusiast, not a makeup artist. So this is the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way. This is what I've found over the years works for me. Same thing, I'm going to start on the underside. Now I have a very asymmetrical face, and I have quite a bit of facial scarring on this side, so my brows are sisters but not exactly twins. I try my best, but honestly they do their own thing. They do not want to be part of the program. I like to rest my little finger directly on my face if I'm feeling insecure about the line. And then I basically blend out. Gives you a more uniform effect, I find. Next, I like to go in with my Anastasia Soft Brow Powder Duo. And I do the tail on both sides with the darker tone, and then I do the inner brow near my nose with the lighter tone. The reason I like to use this over the pencil is I feel that the powder gives me both coverage and it sets the brow a little bit. Keeps it in place, keeps it from sliding off my incredibly oily skin. And then I've switched to the lighter powder for the inside. Then I use my Anastasia Brow Dip Gel to coat the hairs. Some people do it before. I like to do it after. The reason some people like to do it before is they find it increases the grip powder, which I agree, but it also, in my opinion, because the hairs become thicker and fuller as they're coated with product, it becomes more difficult to get the brow powder and pencil to actually sit on my skin. It tends to be blocked by the hairs. So I am a fan of doing it after, not before. But I've seen people do both. Do what works for you. Your mileage may vary. Okay, so this final step is up to you if you want to do this. Some people do it, some people don't. They'll take a little bit of concealer and they'll actually cut the line on the lower part of the eye and the upper part of the eye. What that does is create a harsher transitional line. I sometimes do it, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on how I'm feeling and how my initial line work came out in terms of the shape of my brow. But I'll demonstrate just for the sake of demonstration.
Pretty close here.
And the reason I do like this as an effect is for whatever reason, that little tiny highlight that the lighter concealer creates on the top of your eyeshadow, I love that for some reason. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I got new lights, so hopefully this is a lot better lit than my previous videos. So over my concealer, I do like to use a little bit of, just a dab of setting powder just to kind of blend it in. And then I'll either use a wet beauty sponge or my finger and kind of finish it off. And if I get anything that I don't like in terms of powder or whatever, I'll just go back in with my brush and brush it out. I'm going crazy fantasy length, so a lot of times I don't pull my eyeshadow quite this far out, but I say go for it because we are doing crazy peacock colors today. I've got some greens, some golds, lots of turquoise. So there you have it. That is how I personally do my brows. Let me know if you have a different technique in the comments below because I love to learn things. As always, thank you for spending a moment of your day with me. I appreciate your time and attention. I hope you have a great and glorious day. And remember, if you like this video, please, 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 please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks, gorgeous. Have a wonderful day.